Retro logos are definitely something you've come across when searching the web for some inspiration or guidance.
This video is brought to you by EpiPies Academy.
In this video, we will actually follow this trend and recreate this logo I've put together for you, and it's called the King of Cupcakes. Yes, I know it has a very pompous name and a very pompous tagline too, but hey, it wasn't my idea. Okay, again, let me break this logo down for you very quickly. First of all, we got the base shape that looks like a badge and is repeated a couple of times. Secondly, we got the ribbon. I guess it's a ribbon. We got the cupcake symbol. And of course, the typography. So we will start from the beginning, which is the badge. To create it, I'm going to use the star shape tool. So I'll grab it, click and drag anywhere on the artboard, and start creating a star. Of course, I need to add rays, so I'll do that by simply tapping on the up arrow key, just like so. Okay, I think that's enough. But I'm not going to let go of the mouse button yet, because I need to alter the length of the rays, and to do that, I will hold down the Control key and move my mouse around a bit until I get shape just like so. Okay, I think that was the hardest part. Really, the rest will be even easier. Now the next step is to simply select the shape, go to the scale tool, hit enter, and I want to scale it uniformly, but not too much. I think 95% will do. And I want to hit copy. And I want to repeat the last transformation, which of course was scaling and copying at the same time. So I could go to Object, Transform, Transform again. But I think I will just use the shortcut of Control D. And just like that, I've duplicated the last transformation, and as a result, I got a new badge shape that is again 5% smaller than the previous one. I will make sure that they all have the same stroke width. I think I'll make it 2 points. Yeah, 2 points will be fine. Now, as we can see in the original, this most inner stroke is sort of dotted, or dashed to be exact. Let me show you how we can do that in a few simple steps. First of all, I need to select the smallest badge, then go to stroke, because we want to affect the stroke. And from these options, I want to choose dashed line right here. And for the dash, I will enter 8 points maybe, so it stands out, but is not overwhelming at the same time. I don't want to enter anything for the gap, but I do want to change this option right here and click Align Dashes to Corners and Path Ends. And bam! We got the main badge shape created in no time. Okay, before we move on, I want to make the biggest badge black, and I want it to have no stroke. The middle one will have only white stroke and no fill, same as the smallest one, the one with dashed stroke. Now we can move to creating the ribbon, and we already are a bit familiar with the process because we were creating the ribbon in the previous video, but this time we will make it a bit different. This time we won't start with the rectangle tool, but an ellipse tool, because we want to make the ribbon slightly wavy. So I'll grab my ellipse tool, and I will create a very flat ellipse, like so. And I'm going to give it a default fill and stroke just so you can see it better. Of course, I don't need the whole ellipse, so with the direct selection tool, I'm going to select the top anchor point and simply hit delete. What we get is a nice curved line that will be the top border of a ribbon. Now I'm going to clone the line holding down the Alt and the Shift keys and bring it slightly down. Now with the direct selection tool, I will join these anchor points and these anchor points as well. And there you go. We got the base of our ribbon. Now we will create the rest of it, starting with the shadowed parts on the sides. This time I will create a simple rectangle that goes from one anchor point like so to the other. And I want it to be significantly thinner as well. Now, with the whole shape still selected, I will send it all the way to the back with a very handy shortcut of Ctrl Shift plus left bracket. Now I will, with the direct selection tool of course, select these opposite anchor points and hit the S key and Enter to initialize the scale tool. I want again to scale them down uniformly, which will basically pull them closer together, just like so. Now, they may need some tweaking with the direct selection tool, so if you see that something is not aligning properly, you can always adjust it just like so. Okay. The last thing to do here is the back side of the ribbon, and we will look into it now. Again, we will simply select the base of the ribbon, copy it, and now I'm not just going to paste it, I will instead select the bottom part of the ribbon that we created just a second ago and go to Edit, Paste in Back. We could always use the shortcut of Ctrl B. What it did was it pasted the base ribbon behind the bottom ribbon. And you can see it when I start simply bringing it down until it sits well, somewhere here. Now, as it is still selected, I will simply holding down the Alt key, make it just a little bit wider, just like so. Now I will quickly make sure everything is properly aligned to center. Okay, now on this newly created shape to have spiky points, 2 on each side. So how can I do that? Well, it's quite simple to tell you the truth. First we need to, with the newly created shape still selected, go to Object, Path, Add Anchor Points. So essentially I double the amount of anchor points, but I need just these 2 opposite ones that I can now select with the direct selection tool. Again, hit S and Enter for the scale tool and scale them down uniformly. Okay, I think we are done with the base. In the next video we will create the cupcakes, typography, and give our design some colors, so don't go away.